Who has the coolest private collection and why? Or private garden and why?
Private garden. Hmm. Probably Enid with NSE Botanicals, whatever.
You know where we have to go now.
When I first started making plant tour videos, I made a wish list. A dream lineup of the growers and collectors I most wanted to see in person. And right at the top, literally the very first name I wrote down was Enid from NSE Tropicals. Finding anything about Enid beyond her social media or Summer's video, nearly impossible. Mysterious, elusive, and honestly, that only made me more curious. Then she released a book, which of course I bought immediately. And instead of answering my questions, it gave me even more. So in 2022, when I finally got the chance to meet her, I shot my shot. I asked to tour. Now, to be fair, it was peak IAS week. The industry was booming, and she had just published that book. So naturally, she declined my incredibly generous offer to let a total stranger stomp around her garden, poke her plants, and point a camera in her face all day. I can't imagine why she said no. Over the years, we ran into each other more at the shows. We talked. We laughed. I thought we were becoming friends. But even then, the answer was still always not now. Eventually, I started to think it just wasn't going to happen. And then 2 months ago, someone posted a story. They asked why no one had filmed a recent video with Enid. That little spark reignited everything. Thanks to Growing Detroit, who reached out to both of us and fully sponsored this trip, that wish from years ago is finally coming true. Honestly, this video wouldn't exist without Growing Detroit, from the first message to the flight and everything in between. So thank you, Growing Detroit, for making this happen and sponsoring this video. I thought I knew kind of what to expect. Barry hyped it up, but nothing, and I mean nothing, could have prepared me for what I saw. I was completely blown away. Originally, I planned to cut this footage into a bunch of small sections. Break it up into quick, digestible videos. But once I got home and started editing, I couldn't. It was too good. Every moment felt like it deserved to be seen. So instead of chopping it up and trimming it down, I've decided to release this as a 3-part series. 2 parts will take you through the garden with Enid as our guide, and the third will sit down for a deeper conversation. An interview that finally gets to know the person behind this legendary collection. This is part 2 of that series. I highly suggest seeing part 1 first. There are a few cuts because I wanted you to experience it the way I did. Real, pure, unfiltered, and full of wonder. So settle in, you're about to see something truly special. Okay, enough of my talking, let's get to the tour.
So what do we have over here? A bunch of stuff.
This is a mucinda. I think they call it the orange marmalade, maybe. It's got a name like that.
It's beautiful.
Papaya that just popped up in the yard.
So you didn't plant that there?
No. I love the way they look. They're really messy, when I think I had one over by the shade houses towards the back, and then something like a squirrel or whatever eats the fruit and then brings them all over the yard.
Wow. You got your little crotons.
Yeah. They're great for color. So I don't have too many flowers, orchids. So the crotons are great for color.
But you have this one.
Yeah.
Tell us about this one.
These guys are great. This time of year, I've got a yellow and an orange mixed in. The yellow's more rare. They smell like suntan lotion. So I always it reminds me of the beach and everything, since I'm so far from the beach now.
Yeah. How far? Like 30 minutes?
7 miles.
7 miles? Not even 30 minutes. That's crazy. And it's like right by the pool. So when you walk by, you get a nice little smell.
Oh, I was going to show you this. That's that Longilobatum Leland Miano, but this plant is actually from Leland when he was here years ago. It's like, so that plant actually he gave me. So now it's in tissue culture, but like that is one of the plants that he gave me. So that's, to me, that's fun. Like we all want to have plants that our friends gave us. And you know, as you walk around the yard, it reminds you of all your friends that have given you cool stuff, you know, and that adds, to me, that adds to the garden to be able to enjoy plants my friends have given me. That I'll think about that person as I walk through the garden.
Yes. That's one of my favorite things about being in the plant community. What do you have going on here?
Just assorted stuff in the ground. There's a big maximum over there. Barry Schwartz made this leaf. He makes them out of casts from actual leaves in his yard. Wow. And I've got a super cool stained glass of a monstera leaf that he did also on the side there. I've been trying to figure out what to do with that. Initially, I was going to hang it on the side of the house. Mm-hmm. But I haven't figured out, maybe with some brackets or make it into like a table or something.
Oh, that'll be
to knock over.
Yeah, that'll be beautiful. Is this a tree fern above it?
Yeah.
Wow. We've got a whole jungle going on.
This is what our well water does. Well water gets on it, but normally it's a little more green.
It's like super shiny.
Yeah.
We've just got stuff growing all up the trees.
This is the one I had that cactus on right here at the base. I noticed. I forgot all about it, and it's wrapped around.
No way.
Oh, wow. It's really going. It's all the way around.
Yeah. I don't want to.
Sometimes I put things in the ground when it's sunnier. And then, you know, as time goes by, the other plants grow up around it. And, you know, it's in more shade than I had planned. But it all finds its place.
Yeah. You've got some peperomia down there growing too. I think you're the first person I've ever seen to have Witty eye growing on a on a tree or
more
something.
People should do that. Well, if they're
nobody has very many of them. Like they're really hard to find, but like mine is growing on a cocoa fiber. But Atlanta Botanical Gardens is just kind of hanging there.
I've got it in a few places. I have it on this tree and it's green because it's in so much shade. You saw the one in that shade house, and then I have one in the greenhouse too. The only one that's ever, unless I've missed it, the only one that's ever bloomed is the one in the greenhouse, strangely, and it's the smallest one. So maybe it's super humid in there. It's super humid out here too, but.
What do you got going on here?
Oh yeah, this tree. There used to be like, I think there were at least 8 of them. The people that lived here before topped all these Australian pines, so they're all dead. And so it was like this little mini Stonehenge in here with these 8 dead tree trunks. And I think there's only 2 left. Every once in a while, one falls. But in the meantime, I've put, you know, I needed, there were no trees here when I moved here, so I needed vertical climbing structures for my stuff. So all the trees have philodendrons on them.
Which philodendrons do you have on here?
This is actually an undescribed species I got from an old friend, Mark Birchminer, that lived in the Virgin Islands.
Wow.
The cool thing, just really easy to grow, but I like a lot of the rare fuzzy velvety stuff, but you need some of the green weeds to like carry the yard because all that fuzzy stuff can be difficult. So I try to have some big green stuff too, so that you can enjoy the yard and not always be complaining about your plants, you know?
Yeah, it looks beautiful, like with all the aerial roots hanging down, and then this black croton.
Well, this thing is gorgeous. I actually got that from Marina years ago, but this is really nice in the sun. Mm-hmm. Great photos of it. I should do an air layer of it and have it in the sun too.
Yeah, that'll be.
Had a lot more red in the sun.
So what do we have over here?
Assorted stuff that popped up in the yard. Monstera adansonii and Monstera, I used to call it Peru.
Mm-hmm.
Some metallicum, Hemidoria metallicums.
What is this guy right here?
It's a little philodendron a friend gave me from a botanical garden, undescribed. I don't even see, I have to remember all that stuff. I should have it all cataloged somewhere so that if I were to ever leave or whatever, that people would know.
Yeah.
But I try to pass this stuff around to the gardens, just so it sticks around in case I lose it, you know? 'Cause,
that makes sense.
yeah.
What is this one?
Stenolobum, Philodendron stenolobum.
Is that the narrow
Yeah.
form? That's so cool looking.
And it's funny when I plant things, I have a plan for them. Everybody wants to face east, and I don't go this way. So I'm like, but if you could face the way I planted you.
Which you wanted it to
I wanted
face
it
this
to
way?
face this way, but it's
Nope.
not gonna. It's like, but east is so nice.
Ooh,
This is Philodendron tenue.
that is
I know,
beautiful.
I love it. It's sort of like Chironia, the narrow one. We used to, in fact, years ago when that Chironia came out, it was like, we called it the narrow tenue. But this is gorgeous.
I never see that.
And this is that rugose form of rugosum, aberrant form of rugosum, Philodendron rugosum. A lot more contorted and more light. Like it'll be completely smooth, kind of heart-shaped in the shade. But if it gets in more light, you get more contorted leaves.
That's so cool. Look at that. Go this way. Oh my goodness.
Another piece of that big Longilobatum.
The one that he gave you?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then this is that Philodendron bicolor I was telling you about. I won that at the IAS auction. David Sherbich donated it probably in, I can't remember exactly, but let's say 2008 or so. And that was the first one in the US, first bicolor in the US. So any of them up until the last few years that anyone got were from this plant right here. And what I love about this thing is that they call it bicolor for obvious reasons, right? You're kind of olive green on that side, but then the back of the leaf is red.
Wow.
And even cooler than that, if you look closely at the petiole, especially on the newer plants, you know, it's red on the bottom of the petiole is red as well. And there's like a definite line where it goes from red to green on the side of the petiole.
Oh, let's see if we can get in there.
See if you can get in there. The newer leaves especially, you can see the red.
Ooh,
I'm
wrong
not
way.
sure if you can catch it.
Maybe. That's crazy. I can definitely see some red.
This is gorgeous. The royal poincianas are blooming. I didn't even notice. Over there.
Wait. Sun's in my eyes.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that pretty?
That is beautiful. You just have an amazing jungle out here. Like, look at that.
Oh, the sun went away again.
That's okay.
It's a color when the light hits that, when the light doesn't hit that.
It's beautiful. There's like so many colors.
Yeah, the new ones come out kind of lime green. And I crossed the variegated form of this with Linamii last year. They look like shiny gloriosums so far.
Oh, we'll have to see that later. I bet that's beautiful.
I was waiting to see what it wanted to do. Some of them are variegated, but it's not variegated like the father, because the mother was Linamii. They're kind of like snowflakey variegated, but they're young, so I was hoping it would do more exciting stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna rain. It feels like it's gonna rain all of a sudden.
Look how shiny that is.
Dorstinia.
I've been told those are like weeds down here.
They spit. So the seeds right here, these seed pods, as they open, they're like, pow, they'll blow seeds everywhere.
Oh, wow.
It's like I didn't put that there. That was something that was in the shade house and it got out here. And I've got probably 5 or 6 species, and they're all like hitchhikers from plants I imported over the years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I'm following you.
Where else can we go?
What is this guy? This big, huge thing.
Philodendron melanonii. And this actually was a plant from Dewey Fisk. I got this, right? Coconuts are beating it to death, but Philodendron melanonii, it's kind of cold sensitive, but it's been in the ground here forever. So it never really took off as a landscape plant in Miami because, you know, it'll take some damage if it gets cold, but you know, you don't want that in the middle of your landscape, burnt leaves. But I haven't had any damage on it since it's been here, besides the coconuts.
That thing's huge. It's like
Fruit.
very
Yeah.
big like Gloriosum, but very different.
So, you know, it's not in enough light here, but when it's in a lot of light, it's more like this, and the petioles are bright orange. It's from
These have so much everywhere.
French Guiana. Gosh, I couldn't remember, sorry.
Wow. Now, what is this? A giant bromeliad?
Crinum lily. This
Oh.
was variegated, and I don't see any variegation on it now, but it's been dropping babies here. Seeds, it drops seeds and then they sprout.
Oh, wow. Look at all of them.
Yeah.
Is this a... I feel like Barry has some of these.
Oh
Is
yeah,
that
most
right?
people do. They get white flowers, they're really fragrant.
Yes. Okay. Wow. What do you have behind it? This guy right here, this philodendron. Is that a philodendron?
Yes, that's Philodendron mellobaratotum, and it sort of looks like that common Salome, but the stem has spines, and it's a little sharper. The leaflets are a little bit sharper, but the stem is super spiky, so it's like not something to grab. It's not around. So this used to be apparently a common Florida landscape philodendron many years ago. And Salome kind of gained favor, and this one kind of got pushed back, and people didn't use it. But they were in the old parrot jungle down in Miami, and my friend Craig Morrell worked there and gave me a couple, and I've got them. I've got quite a few in the yard now. I never really propagated them much to sell because they're so big and they won't fit in a 4-inch pot.
Yeah.
So I never did much with them.
Do you think because they're spiny, that's why they didn't take off and the Salome did?
I think maybe the Salome just grows a little better. It's got a bigger leaf. It's a little more tropical looking, maybe.
Maybe
Maybe it was easier to reproduce, you know. Maybe people don't like spines. So many reasons.
Like the little,
There's a beagle.
the new leaf is like so curly and lacy looking.
Oh, I should show you this. This is actually a philodendron as well. Looks like grass climbing it.
wow.
Chamayense, if I said that right. I've got it all the way up there.
That's beautiful.
In the terrarium trade, they like those a lot because that's as big as it gets, and it's a climber.
Yeah, that would be perfect in a terrarium.
Dodging mosquitoes.
Yes. Even though I just put spray on.
Yeah, they're like, flavoring. And nice, you get that palm frond down, but there's a nice variegated fishtail back there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Hold on. Let's zoom in. What is this giant one right here? Philodendron.
This is Philodendron evansii, and I got that in a little 3-gallon pot, and it's planted over there, but it's like snaked over there, and that's where the ladder is to that treehouse. It's got the ladder, so to get up there now, you gotta climb through the philodendron to get to the ladder. But that was one of the only things that was here was this treehouse in those Australian pines. And that big tree out back, but the rest of it was gravel. The people before just graveled the property. It's like crazy when you think about it, right? As a plant person. But when I came here, I was like, look at all the possibilities. The whole acre is empty.
Yeah, you had a lot to work with.
Yeah. Sometimes that's difficult though, because if there's no like bones already in place, you don't really know where you should plant stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's very true. That fish shell's beautiful.
Yeah. These beehive gingers are flowering right now too, right here. I started out collecting gingers before oh, and a lizard. Gingers before I got into aeroids. So I have
a little lizard. Look, hello.
And there's a Monstera dubia climbing that. Yeah, after a while, everything just kind of naturalizes and you don't even know what you've got in the yard anymore.
I believe that. Just looking, I'm like, there's like 15 different things on this one single tree.
Yeah. Which is nice. Sometimes they outcompete each other. It's not always the plant you want. So I'll get in there and trim some things back so everybody has a fighting chance.
Yeah. That makes sense. Whoa, look how big the base is on that.
And this is the first philodendron I was ever able to pollinate. I selfed it a few years ago. And these, it's blooming now. When these things open, it looks like a queen conch shell with the pink in the middle. It's gorgeous.
Wow.
Flowers are like this. I had a friend walking by it and they were like, is that seed? Oh my God, it's so much seed. It's imagine like 20 rotten bananas full of fruit and the seeds are tiny inside.
Oh, wow.
Butterflies and everything came to the party. But yeah, you could just climb that. It's like
You really could.
Rudy, where's the lizard?
It's insane.
You'll chew it up. That's my last one. It's the last one, Broody.
Oh, wow. Look at your little fern. Taking over the croton.
This is gorgeous.
It really is.
They're like turquoise in the rainy season. And this I got from Jerry Horn years ago at his place. He said he had it under his bench. And it's like a weed, right? It climbs. Yeah. It'll be all up the tree in the rainy season. It's gorgeous. But he was like, can I just have a piece of that? And he said, if you'll hate me if I give you this. So every time I'm ripping it out of the trees, but it's so pretty. I don't care, you know? Yeah. I think of how him telling me that I would hate him if he gave me a piece of it.
I never knew they climbed like that.
Yeah, this variety.
That's so cool.
Orchid's blooming too.
Oh, and then you've got this guy growing up here. Beautiful.
Yeah, this Philodendron is amazing. It was just blooming too. I missed it. You know, they bloom way up there. It's like a ladder situation and they don't get pollinated because I'm not getting on a ladder at 3 o'clock in the morning.
So what plants did you start out with? The ginger was the first, or before that?
That was probably the first thing I always liked weird plants. So that was like the natural progression into aeroids. There's a lot of weird gingers. I mean, this is pretty weird. But when I started out selling, it was mainly to pay for plants that I was buying for myself already. And gingers and bananas and angel's trumpets are so easy to propagate. When I was first learning, it was all that easy to propagate stuff. Plumerias. So I still have a lot of that stuff in the yard from
a long time ago.
Yeah. So cool. I'm sorry, Broody, but you'll chew it up. This is the papaya. That was the one that dropped, that ended up on the pool deck.
That's crazy.
Broke in half at some point and came back again.
How far it's traveled.
Yeah. Yeah, it has to be a squirrel.
It has to. The trumpet. Wow. I've just noticed what is all the way at the top of this tree.
Right? So this philodendron is a philodendron species that Betsy Furstein found. They call it Betsy. I don't think it's properly described yet. Some of the Ecuadorian sellers are also selling it as species Napo.
Okay.
I think I have it out back too, but here's what it looks like younger. It's a little more arrow shaped when it's young.
Wow.
Is that water coming on?
It sounds like it. Yeah. Yep.
And it's gotten bigger. It's way up there. And then this is a anthurium clavigerum. This looks like a palm in itself on that palm.
Yes.
But even right here, like this philodendron is from Betsy. This was from Ron Weeks, this clavigerum. This philodendron here was from Palm Hammock. They had that all over the front of it, Palm Hammock down in Miami. So I like, you know, there's a lot of stuff in the yard that is like from friends or...
Oh, I think your monstera is flowering.
Oh yeah, Adansonii.
Yes. Do you have a much smaller, or is that an orchid that's growing up?
Oh,
even
yeah,
further.
no, I forgot the species on that, but it was a Rhaphidophora I got from NSE Tropicals a long time ago. Right, everyone who knows right now is going to be yelling it at the TV.
It's so high up there, you can't
Yeah.
even see the top.
And the there's also a jade vine in here. It's already finished blooming for the year, but
What is this tree right here?
this one,
Yeah.
Macaranga grandifolia. It's really impressive when it's like in a 3-gallon pot and it's 3 or 4 feet tall, because the leaves are this size already. And so it's like this little stick, like a lollipop with huge leaves on it, and then they top out. And this is a male. You can see some of the flowers there, pink flowers.
Oh.
There's male and female trees, and you need to have both to get seed.
Oh, I see it.
I've got females too, because they pop up all over the yard.
But it looks like some type of anthurium leaf
Yeah,
on a
doesn't it?
tree.
There'll be stuff that I have that I like, species that look like other plants. Like you'll be like, oh, is that a begonia? And then you know that's an anthurium. It's like twice as cool. Or pipers that look like anthuriums.
Yes. Okay, which way shall we go? Oh, you've got a bunch of, are these amorphophallus?
Those are Gonatopus. If you don't know about those guys, excuse me, Brutus. Excuse me, Brutus.
Is this the giraffe knee?
Yeah, there's one there. So any part of this plant, like this was going to be my, I don't want to say most hated, but one of your questions that we'll do later. Even a tip of the leaf, if that hits the ground, will make a whole new plant.
Oh, wow.
And I brought it here because I thought it was cool. And I have a billion of them.
That's
so
crazy.
they go dormant in the winter, like an amorphophallus, and then they come back. And I mean, they're gorgeous plants. All 500 million of them that I have in the yard. Look at you. Look at him.
What
Hello.
you doing, Apollo? Say, I just in here. Look at him. Oh my God.
I can never get him on video. I always do videos of Brutus because he's always in your face, and Apollo's usually hiding, so.
He's saying, I just a little flower.
Look at him.
I just a little flower.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I will make sure you have that.
Yeah, I'm gonna need that shot.
I think
Look
I can
how
take
cute
a
he is.
photo too. Let's see. You are the cutest thing.
I don't know what I'm gonna do with you, Brutus. You're gonna have to find somewhere else to be.
He say, I just want the lizard.
Throw my lizard and stop talking. Can't, we're not playing lizard now. I'll take it in here with you. So anywhere you see a fern, that put itself there. I didn't put any ferns on this wall. This was another thing. So we had a cold snap like 2009 that I lost a lot of my collection, like all the irreplaceable stuff that I got from collectors that are no longer around, and plants that are no longer around. Before, like, it was just velvet stuff or nothing like it is now. So it was all these things you can't replace. And I lost so much of the collection. My son was like 3 years old, and my friend Brian at Brian's Botanicals had been trying to get me to do a living wall since I'd known him. And I was like, oh, I'm too busy, or I can't, or whatever. And this wall like turned it around for me and like got me going again. You know, it was like got me back into it, because to like look at my collection, it was just massacred from the cold. But the wall did so well that, like, begonias and stuff that just, where did that? I don't have any begonias in here. Like, I don't even know how these things got on there. But it's like a felt material. Sorry. It's like it's a felt material, and they love it.
Like, is it the black stuff? No, that's the top.
Yeah, that's the back wall there. But it's like, if you can see it here, it's like carpet underlayment.
Oh, wow. How long did it take for you to build it?
So this one, I used to have fish in here too. Now I usually just have Brutus. It hangs out in there. But I was reasonable. I want to say it went up pretty quick. You know, it's attached to the frame of the shade house.
Okay.
And then it's 2 layers of the felt. And then in the first layer, I cut little slits in it to put the roots. So there's no soil at all. It's all hydroponic, basically. And this water that comes out of here is coming out of this pond down there.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some stuff hiding behind all these ferns.
I know. Just all kinds of things.
Look at that. Sorry. I gotta get a stake for that.
So does the water constantly go up the wall and then come back down? Or
yeah, and then lands in that trough at the bottom.
So cool. So if you didn't plant the ferns or the begonias, what did you put on here?
Anthuriums and peperomias. Mostly anthuriums and peperomias. Some philodendrons, I'd say.
There's a lot of stuff at the top.
Yeah.
Oh man, look at this guy.
So you can definitely see where the dry spots are.
Yeah.
And then Rhaphidophora hayi right here. I was trying to put some shinglers. It's kind of wet for that usually. So they do seem to like the drier spots. Like, all that has to happen is leaves lock a mist head, and then that's a dry spot you didn't catch.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah, right?
Nice red color.
Flower right here.
Yes. Oh, this is the one that I got from the other angle. What is this one?
It's a Amy Donovan hybrid. It had Cineraceum and Magnificum or something like that.
Magnifica.
I'd have to look it up to be sure what the name. Let me see if there's a tag in there. This is an old plant.
I was like, what you get in there? Right, moving. Oh my God, you just have so much in here.
Yeah.
What do you have? Everywhere. You have more little tadpoles.
Oh, I know, they're everywhere. Since it rained a couple weeks ago, every body of water here is full of tadpoles, which is cool. These guys are all tree frogs.
Really?
Yeah.
Little baby tree frogs.
We get those big bufo toads too, which Brutus loves. So
Are those the ones that are poisonous? So you have to keep them away from the dogs?
Yeah. He doesn't usually bark, but if he barks, that's what it is. He barks at them, and so I run. I go running.
What is this guy right here?
Got to stake this poor guy. Just got a bunch of new leaves. This is it got this whole new flush of leaves, and it pulled itself over.
What is that?
Sigisium juhoi. It's like a veitchii, anthurium veitchii sort of tree thing.
That's so cool.
See, and there's an anthurium veitchii.
Compare?
Yeah.
Compare. That new leaf is so dark. Is all this stuff your for sale stuff?
My son and I started doing some Palm Street lives, and what I do to get ready is pull everything that looks ready to go, and this is like the stuff that we try to work from. I never get through it all.
Yeah. I mean, you have so much here.
Yeah.
So this is the inventory table, guys. If you see anything you want, hit up
Right.
Enid.
These are the things. I mean, there's other stuff throughout, but a lot of it's my own collection. But this table is the like stuff that's on the website, stuff that's for sale for real. And, you know, I pack right there. So it's like close as it can get.
Those are beautiful.
Yeah. Aren't they gorgeous?
I might need to buy one of those before I leave.
Yeah, right? Were those yellow, red Congo. So it was a red Congo that had yellow variegation.
I love that.
There's some just straight reds right here, I think.
What anthurium? I know they're going to want to ask about anthurium. What anthurium are we working with
These
over
guys, these are Dressleri. I just brought them out here to fertilize them. These guys here, these are all assorted Tim Anderson hybrids, like open pollinated, so there's no real lineage on them, but a lot of them are large leafed anthuriums, a lot of red emergence, stuff like that.
Yeah. Oop. Wow. There's so many cool things.
Isn't that beautiful?
I love the like foliated luxurian,
the pebbled stuff, and then there's a straight luxurians there. Those are red dark phoenix, the ones you were just touching. Red dark phoenix times luxurians.
No way. Wait a second. Let me go back. Look at that leaf. And then that's a true luxuriance. That.
It's 48. That one that you had. You know what's a cool one I just noticed had a new leaf? Was this is Reflexanervum times luxurians.
No.
Isn't that cool? I would have not thought that was something that could happen.
Yeah.
But what a neat hybrid. And then that one, I don't know if you can see it, I could pull it out if you can't, is pendulifolium and Reflexanervum.
That's so cool.
Some of the stuff has just started climbing. I used to have it on all the center posts, stuff on all the center posts, but sometimes it blocks the water to the other plants. So like you have this period of time where it looks amazing, and then all of a sudden the other plants on the other side of the water. This is like my current favorite plant right now.
What is that?
Isn't that cool? It's an ant plant. It's a Hydnophytum. We'll just Caminiferum, Hydnophytum caminiferum. We always call it the pig heart. It's done so well. I don't want to say it's not supposed to grow here, but it's not supposed to grow here. And I don't want to move it because it seems to like that spot.
Yeah. That is the coolest.
I know. So cool.
Probably the coolest thing I've seen this weekend.
And then this is an impatiens with a caudex. Flowers too.
That's insane.
This is the hybrid I was telling you about. This is Linamii and that gloriosum, variegated gloriosum.
Oh,
so some of the leaves have this, I'm like, be variegated or don't. Like, what is that?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to grow out the ones that don't have variegation to see what they want to be when they grow up.
That's so cool. I am obsessed with
I know.
that.
Love it. Every time I walk by it, I'm like, that thing's got, did it get cooler? It got cooler.
So much color. Ooh. Look how big your turtle back
Yeah.
is.
I've
Thanks,
gotten seed
sweet.
on those before. I didn't, this time it had flower. That whole thing was a big ball of flowers, but I didn't seed.
And you got it to seed?
In the past, but not this time.
Oh, wow.
Little of everything.
There's so much.
This is Philodendron esmeraldens.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
Or like I missed everything over here, looking over here.
Huh?
I just love these.
Yeah, isn't
But
that
they're
gorgeous?
not easy to grow. Well, for me anyways, because I don't water a lot.
Yeah, they like that water.
Mm-hmm. But it's so beautiful with the purple veins.
The back of the leaf is, let me see one with the, they have some red. The younger
Oh,
leaves have a little
wow.
red on the back.
That's beautiful.
Water makes me nervous. I'm like, where is that gonna hit me?
I hear it.
And then this is anthurium bessiae. This is proper the species bessiae, and everybody talks about bessiae, and it's that bessiae af
Mm-hmm.
thing. This is proper bessiae that came from Dewey Fisk years ago.
Have you like grown anything from seed or like crossed it with anything?
Oh yeah, Carla Blackie, Dressleri, and then I've done a few hybrids. I did red crystallinum times Fairchild.
Oh wow.
What else did I do? Luxurians and Fairchild. I haven't done a lot of storing pollen with any kind of plan. Basically, whoever's receptive gets pollinated with whoever has pollen. So that's how
That
we
makes
do
sense. I've never seen anything crossed with this guy before.
it. So I did Villanorum with it. Have you ever seen,
Ooh,
Villanorum?
Yeah.
You would think it would be awesome, but instead it looked like a Bessier that someone stepped on.
Oh no.
That was like it's cool. You could definitely see both parents in it, but it was kind of, to me, I was like, I thought this will be cool. And instead I was like, oh, well, what did I just create? It's like, It was like
this
a
monstrosity.
creature. Yeah. There's actually a Villanorum hybrid down here. This is Villanorum with Morona.
That's beautiful.
Isn't that cool? That's going to be something neat.
Barry had Villanorum and Luxurians.
Oh.
Was it a Luxurians or Villanorum and Red Crystal? I think he had both. They were
There's
gorgeous.
sometimes there'll be a bunch of things with pollen and a bunch of things that are receptive, and I'll have pollen on my hand like this, and I'll just be like, who's ready? You know?
Who's ready?
But then you'll go, oh no, wait, this one could use something black and velvety. I don't want to put this as red crystallinum, or I did that cross last year, so I'm always trying to like figure who should get it. What would look good with this?
Yes. Oh my gosh. What is this guy back here? This one between
This one.
Yes.
This was from J. Vanini. That's Anthurium Rio Clarence times
Wait a second.
undescribed.
There we go. It hates me today.
And that poor thing, I had it out in the bright shade house. Anthuriums don't like it in there. It's just it's hot, it's dry. But other stuff does, so I just move the plants around depending on what they like. Oh, and these were some, this was Fairchild times Cormelians. That was that huge one in the greenhouse that we saw earlier. I put it on Fairchild, variegated the terrafolium. Dark and Handsome times Red Velvet Cake times Colemanii.
That's one that I need.
Yeah,
the last guy.
I was surprised the seed set was pretty weak. I would have thought, they're both big husky plants, but I got like 3 seedlings out of it.
You got some white leaves in here.
Yeah, this is a variegated bird's nest I have out back in the garbage pile. It sets seeds like, it's like a Thanksgiving turkey worth of seeds.
Wow. Yeah.
There's another one. This is a dark form, Impatience Flag? I don't even know. I picked that up
That's
at a show.
beautiful.
But this is another impatiens with a caudex, but the leaves are red and the flowers are more of a orangey peach.
That's crazy. Don't know where to go next. Ooh.
Yeah, isn't that cool? Varicosum and serpens, I think that is. Super fuzzy.
It is. So much everywhere.
I just redid a bunch of these benches, so normally they're much more full, but I've been putting stuff in the yard and moving things around. And this was a superbum I got at a show, and I got it when it was probably about this big, you know, the leaves. But it's very different. The inflorescences are much larger and much longer. Usually this blooms tiny flowers kind of at the base.
Yeah.
And it's super narrow. So I hate when I pick up one and there were three and I think, oh, let's just see what that does. Now I wish I'd grabbed all of them because I haven't seen it again since then.
Yeah, that's
But somebody
beautiful.
else got to enjoy them.
That's true.
Some more Campharias. I love those variegated Campharias because they come out like, see the one back there? They pop out bright red.
Yeah.
And then they've got these little purple flowers.
What do you got in this tray?
Oops, wait. Okay. Some more little variegated seedlings.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
That is cool.
I bought some containers to protect seedlings because I was talking to you earlier, every once in a while, something, you know, everything's all open. Something will just come in and eat all the seedlings. So
What is this guy?
this is I don't know whether it's a species or a hybrid. Here's a larger leaf kind of behind you. This was something
one?
I got, like it was one of my first anthuriums. It's just a cool kind of iridescent leaf.
Yeah.
And the large one that, I don't know if you can go around, it's this leaf right here. It's just like, such a neat leaf.
Yes. That's beautiful. I love that.
Some Spiritus Sanctis popping up in the trays.
Don't expect to see that every day. Oh, wow. Look at all these big guys.
Mooninii. Yeah, I used to have all my collection on this, like most of my big stuff on this one. But I also had wood benches all throughout here, and they're amazing, and everything likes to grow on them, and they keep everything humid, and you get little ferns popping up, but they rot in like 2 years with all this water. So I did, at the beginning of this year, kind of switched out all the benches. Oh, it's a beagle.
Ooh.
So there's another species of those Dorstenias. That's the one we saw out there, and then there's another guy there.
Oh, yeah.
There's all kinds of stuff under there.
Wow. That's a beautiful leaf.
A Fairchild. So this was in the greenhouse and it didn't like it in there. There's a new leaf coming, I'm glad to see.
Ooh, yes.
Sometimes they're in a perfect spot for a while and then they change their mind about that spot.
So tell me about this guy. I know we talked about it off.
Yeah. Undescribed species. I think it's from Peru. Super cool. Gets more blue color the more light it's in. I had this in the greenhouse for a while where it's dark and wet and it didn't like it in there at all. But the orange, it had orange berries. Maybe somebody that sees the video knows what it is.
Orange berries.
Yeah.
That thing is amazing. We need to start collecting more non-velvet anthuriums because there's so many more out there.
Yeah, and a lot of really cool shapes, you know? There's just so many different things.
Mm-hmm.
And this is Anthurium mooninii is one of my favorite anthuriums. That's named for Uke Moonin. And I saw I've got flowers coming, so I got to keep up on that.
It's got flowers?
Inflorescences.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I got one here, and then one here. Pollinate it.
Wow.
I had seed on it over the winter and didn't plant them in time. Sometimes I set things down and don't get to it.
Yeah. It's crazy.
See, like, I mean, the wood, all this stuff will just grow right on the wood.
Oh,
Once you
wow.
put plastic, once you have a plastic bench, nothing wants to grow on that.
What is this little guy? The fuzzy thing.
Persea.
It's so soft.
Yeah.
There's just stuff everywhere. Oh, you've got pollen right here.
Oh yeah. I walk around like this.
Yep.
Must be time to replace the shade cloth. It's so bright in here. Plants are like, oh, make it rain.
Please help me.
The cool little syngonium. Look how nice velvety that is.
Look, come up on the... That's beautiful. I can just say, oh, wow.
These were a lot of the big things that were up there, and I kind of just never put them back up there because I was going to repot them. And then they like it there. So I don't know what to do now. I need more plants now for that bench because they like it there.
Need more plants. Look at that.
Yeah, Cupola spathum. This leaf gets so big, you could just, as big as you could put your head at the top of that and be covered. And there's another flower on the Fresinetia that's here. There's a fresh one down there. Whatever one.
Oh,
That orange one.
yes. That's an insane looking
I know.
alien-like flower. There's stuff everywhere.
That Royal Poinciana is it's so funny. I'm like, when did that start looking like that? I'm out here every day and I haven't really noticed it until today.
It's beautiful. Oh, the little orange on the roof.
This is Reflexonervum and Willifortii. This guy.
That's so crinkly.
I know. So this is another one that it's like one of my favorite plants and I should propagate it. But those are the ones I'm least likely to propagate because if I cut it and I kill it, then I don't have it.
Yeah. I get that.
Huh?
I said I get that.
Yeah. Oh, I should have kept these guys out there. Did you want to look at these? I should have left them in the greenhouse.
Ooh. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if they had a name on them. Did yours have a name when you got it?
No. So this one and those two are different.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember. Yeah, this was off of this one because I pulled this off of here.
So you got this from IAS, and where did you get this one again?
A friend of mine.
So I have the sibling to this one.
Yeah.
Crazy. They need to go back in here, right?
I think they're okay there. I was going to put them out here because it's brighter. Oh, the water's on there too.
Wow.
That was the father to those Fairchild times marmoratums that we were talking about.
Wow.
I've also recently discovered that I really love King of Spades. These things are so cool, that round leaf.
Yes. Yours is very, velvety looking.
Yeah.
Eh.
And a flower. And that's Willifortii. This used to be kind of common. You don't see it too much anymore.
Mm-mm.
Another one I don't cut because I love. Yeah. This had some crazy name on it. Knock. N-O-K.
That's really cool.
It's probably a hybrid. Sometimes I'll just get something because it's cool. And this is, Warocreatum and, Splendidum. Sorry. Wow. The fan is confusing me. Warocreatum and Splendidum, which is
That's insane.
cool because I don't do too well with Splendidum because of the heat.
Same.
They don't like the heat. And Warocreatum's a little picky about that too, so. This was this weird papillanimum that I grew from seed. And I don't know what it's doing there.
Yeah,
But I kept that one because it was weird.
that is weird. That's insane looking. I like that.
There's another one of those King of Spades.
Yes. I need one of these so bad.
Is that the coolest thing ever? It's like an alien head.
Really is. Oh. And then this giant leaf casually in the back.
Yeah. That's one of those Tim Anderson mothers that I was telling you about.
That's huge.
Like, a lot of it doesn't have, like, the species names on them. But I just keep track of it like that it came from him, you know. It's literally under the sprinkler. It's under the water and it's still not getting wet.
Look how giant. Oh, you have another one. That thing is huge. Like, hold on. Let's see if I can.
What's the best angle? Let me see. I always think everything wants to face.
Look how big that is.
It's amazing.
That is insane. And you said all of these were Carlas that you...
Well, there's some Fairchilds in here that I kept. That's just so hot, these poor plants. There were some weird Carlas in here that were from most of the plants in that batch were normal. Like that. Is that one? That was something else. And I just kept a few that looked weird to see about breeding with them and see what they want to do. This was a cool one.
That's really cool.
Somehow very dry and very wet in here all at the same time.
Yeah.
I've got all these mist heads and I'll hang something up there and you think it's fine. It must be getting wet. And then one day you see it collapse. You're like, what?
Yeah.
But only one of my fans is working right now. So we've been struggling in here with the heat. You know, it's a plastic box in the sun. Oh yeah, there's a good, that Swinlinger eyes look really good over there.
Yeah.
From this side, maybe?
Yes. How old are these Windlinger eggs?
I'm gonna guess. I grew the one on the right from seed, and then this is the parent of it. It's probably been 5 years on this guy.
This one's so long.
Oh, that's a nice leaf there.
It's like black.
Yeah. And that one's getting seed again. One of these, at least one of these always has seed. So I always have them on the website.
That's crazy.
As fresh seed, but I'm between seed batches right now.
Fuzzy.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
It is.
That's Columnia gloriosa.
Beautiful flower.
I thought that at the last plant show I went to, and then immediately it started blooming, and I was like, "Deal, that's
yeah."
nice.
Oh my goodness! I don't think we made it over to this corner.
This is another big, gorgeous thing. Look at that.
I don't think I can go back anymore. Wow. What is that?
Undescribed, or this could be Dolichostactum.
That's beautiful. Beautiful. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Is this the chicken fern? That thing's so tall.
It had fur all the way up, but just carrying it home, I deferred it because if you touch it at all, it falls off.
Oh, it's Mad Boogler. Got this giant Billy.
That was a nice style. I give him a 10 for the style there.
I hate to do this to you, but that's the end of part 2. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, the interview with Enid, definitely go check that out to hear her story and what drives her love for plants. And make sure you're subscribed because next week we're wrapping up the tour in part 3. We'll explore the other side of her property, the ponds, her trash pile, and the final shade house. You really don't want to miss it. Huge thanks again to Growing Detroit for sponsoring this trip. None of this would have happened without you. Her socials are linked below, so please go show her some love. I've also linked Enid's Instagram. Drop a comment and thank her for sharing her garden with us. And if you saw a plant you want for your own space, both her website and Palm Street are linked below. They have different selections, so be sure to check them both out. And if you need more green in your life, the Tours playlist is waiting for you. Or let YouTube pick your next plant fix. Either way, I'll see you in part 3. Bye!